I'm Terry Tarbox. Welcome back to Fun Flowers. Today I'm going to show you how to create a Calla Lily using premium icing sheets from Icing Images. These icing sheets are from Icing Images, and the design on these sheets are their iDesign program. It's a software built into their website. It's a web-based. It's very easy to use, and as you can see, they have some really cool designs on there, so go check them out. With that also, today I'm going to be introducing Isomalt into the process of making these fun flowers. I prefer to use the Cake Play Isomalt. I melt it down using one of the melting pots. It works wonderful. You'll see how fast this goes as we move along. So today what I've done is I've already pre-cut out and attached together two of the sides for the Calla Lily petal itself. I used a darker print and a lighter print to complement each other, and that's what I've already done here. As you can see, they are attached in that manner. Now I am going to attach a plain pink, a solid pink that was not printed on, and then the printed side that I'm going to use to make a third Calla Lily. I've already made the center of the flowers. What I do was this is gum paste for the center. I rolled it out. I roughed up the gum paste to give it a little bit of a texture, and I dusted these with the Elena Rose Sterling Pearl from Sugar Art. So I used their product to dust the centers, and then I made with pink Isomalt from, again, Cake Play, I made two centers. Now with these you can leave them plain, you can roll them in sugar to give them a little bit of texture, whichever way you want to do. I'm going to leave them plain today just for the effect of plain. And then I made a plain center in white just to show you how I started, and then I roughed that up from there. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and paint the two petals. I'm going to use one side, and I'm going to paint it with Tylose. Now you can use Tylose, an alcohol-based product that will dry quickly. I like Tylose in this case because it's pliable just long enough for me to work with the petals. So let me go ahead and spread a very, very thin amount of Tylose on the back side of this petal, just enough to have the two petals stick together, but not enough that there is leftover on the petal once they are attached to each other. Because remember, this product is made to adhere to whatever it's moisture based with. So I'm going to line these up and I'm going to place these on. Now I purposely cut them so they were a little larger than the others, so they would need to be trimmed. I wanted to show you how easy it is just to trim this to get the look that you need. So I'm going to go around the outer edge and I'm going to trim this down so they match. And as you can see, it's very easy to do. I'm going to flip it over and make sure both sides are done. And then I'm going to do inside here. There. Now that I have that done, I have a solid petal on one side and the design petal on the other. Let me get this out of the way. Now, I'm going to move on to attaching. I'm going to take this out of the way. We don't need this anymore for right now. Now, the middle of the petal, for the middle of the petal, on one of these I'm going to use the the gum paste center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the lighter color, and then I'm going to end up wrapping the darker around, so I get the darker on the outside edge. Now with doing this, you want to really optimize your time with the Cake Play Isomalt because it will harden quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit on the back of my tool and I'm going to put it just in the middle where I'm going to place my center. I'm going to go ahead and use the gum paste one, and I'm going to put that there. Now that will help hold it in the middle, and it gives me the leverage to wrap the petals at a slower pace. If I was to smear it across the whole bottom, then you're fighting time trying to wrap it, not ripping the petal, and making sure that it attaches correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and do one side at a time. So I'm going to take this, smear it on that side, and then very gently I'm just going to roll it around, and I'm going to hold it to give it time to harden, which it shouldn't take that long to do. And as you can see, it's done. And I'm going to take and do the same thing on this side. And then I'm going to fold it over. And I'm going to hold it until it hardens. Now with this, as you can see, I used the lighter color scheme on the inside and the darker on the outside. And as I rolled it over, you can see the darker. And then that one is done for right now. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, and I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to do the darker in the middle, but this time I'm going to use one of the Isomalt centers, and I'm going to do it this very same way. Just a little bit in the middle. I'm going to lay the Isomalt there and give that a second to harden. It does not take long because I'm not putting very much Isomalt on there. Take this one, I'm going to roll it around. Using the Isomalt, less is best. What I mean is, if you have too much Isomalt that you smear on, what ends up happening is it's so thick that it will want to crack your icing sheet. So in this case, less is best. Just a very thin layer, and then move very quickly to wrap it around so it will attach. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap that around. And then this one now is complete. Using Isomalt to attach parts of these flowers now is it's a very good purpose to do that because it dries very quickly. You can use the flowers immediately. You can also do this method with using royal icing, but the only situation with royal icing is that you have to allow it 24 hours to dry before you can use your flowers. If I needed to make a cake, I could use these flowers immediately. They're done. They're ready to go once I do the green center. So now this one, I've got a pink in the printed outside. I'm going to lay this on and wrap it just to kind of get myself an idea of what it would look like. I think in this case, I'm going to, the printed side for my center, I'm going to use my pink glitter dust center for the middle of the flower, because this one I've attached a spaghetti stick, and I'm going to wrap it so it will stand. So that's what I want to do with this one. So let me go back to here, and let me break this off. The nice thing about this, once it hardens, it just peels right off. So I'm going to go ahead and just a little bit here. Just remember, less is best when you're working with the Isomalt product with the icing sheets. Again, I'm going to do just a little smear here. And I'm not, and don't press down, just a light touch, light amount. Hold it, and it attaches. And then I'm going to do the other side. Just a light amount. And I'm going to fold this over. I see on this one I may not have applied enough of the Tylose, and the icing sheet is separating from itself. So you just have to make sure that you apply enough. Now that one's done, and now this one would stand once I am done. So now I'm going to show you how to finish off your flower. Very easy to do. What you're going to do is you're going to cut a circle. A green icing sheet circle. This is icing sheet from Icing Images. I've used an iDesign pattern. There is a pattern in there. I don't know if you can see it on these, but there is a slight pattern in the green. And how you make the green part for the flowers is you cut from the center all the way out to the end, and then you go back and you cut little pie wedges all the way around, about halfway through the middle of the circle. You don't want to go all the way to the end because we want to be able to wrap this around and not lose it. So as you can see, once I'm done, I have these little pie wedges, which will give me the ability to wrap this around my flower. So I'm going to go back here. Now in this case, with it splitting like that, that's okay. I'm just going to go back and I'm going to apply some Tylose because that's all it is. It was too dry. It's good for things like this to happen because then it's a learning lesson in the process of making these flowers. I would hate to have this not happen to me and then it happen to you and you not knowing how to fix it or throwing your flower away. And as you can see now, it's attached itself and we're ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one here, and when you're applying the green, you want to make sure that you've removed any of the Isomalt little strings that occur. And it's best to do this in sections at a time, meaning you don't want to put Isomalt around this whole thing and then try to stick it at one time, because it won't attach, and what will end up happening is it will dry on you before you're able to do that. So what I'm going to do is you wrap this around as a dry run to see exactly how much you're going to need. Now the back side of the flower is where I want to start, and then I want to wrap it around like so, and I want to bring it all the way back so I can see I'm going to need that much. So that means I can cut that away. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the back, and I'm going to attach the Isomalt a little bit here. There, that was too dry. And then I'm going to attach my flower, my center, my green, and I'm going to work it around the flower base with little touches of Isomalt at a time as I work around. And because I've cut those pie wedges, I'm able to work around the flower and maneuver the green so it finishes off the flower. Now at this point you could also use fondant if you want, or gum paste to finish it. Whatever you would like to do, you can also do that. I've done that one. All right, let me go back, and what I like to do in this case is I'm going to go ahead and add another one because I want to move it down just a little bit. And on this one, I'm going to go ahead and start in the front. Start right here, and then I'm going to wrap it backwards. And on this one, you can piece it because this is the base of the flower, and this is what's going to go on the cake. So let me remove this piece here. Put just a little bit of Isomalt there, and then tack it there. And then that is what will lay on the cake when you're arranging your flowers on your cake like so. So that's if you want to add the green. Sometimes I don't always add the green to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the one that is standing. You can also use your green floral tape. A lot of decorators still use the green floral tape when it comes to your flowers. So you can also take your green floral tape if you prefer, and you can wrap it around. What I like to do is start with the base area and wrap it. Now because this one here would be standing, I would probably recommend using the floral tape all the way. So I've just done a little base, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and I'm going to go up a little bit higher than I did before. There you go. I've got a nice Calla Lily that will stand, and you can slide that into your arrangement. You can do the green base with the icing sheets. That will also work, or in this case you can leave it plain and lay it in your cake, arrange it within your flowers in your cake. So I hope you enjoyed making a Calla Lily. They're very easy to do, and I hope you experiment. See you again with fun flowers. Check us out. Bye.